Hey, what's up? Dean Super Performance at the shop and sweating. It's Saturday and we are working on the Nova. Don't know if it's an original SS. Caltech's not there, but I got it down. I got the trunk open. I was looking for some eyelets that I thought I had, but I don't. I went ahead and took the heater box out. Done a bunch today. I started under the car, but I found the brake switch wire. I adjusted the brake switch, so I know the driver's side light works. I don't know that the passenger side light works. Then I noticed it is missing the column bolts on these three here, so I'm gonna try and find those. They have massive heads on them, washers. Then the heater box is gone, and yep, the panel's in. I gotta vacuum all this up. I made a big mess. So yeah, the brake switch was fun. They taped it up in the harness. I don't know why, but they did. But you can see I made the panel, and it matches the heater box, so it just screwed right in place of the heater box. And then I put seam sealer, some caulk, and then just shot it with some paint to kind of hide it a little bit, but I only have flat black. I got that ground is stripped. I don't have the eyelet for it. Then I noticed there was a battery ground, this braided cable here, so I went ahead and put it down there with a self tapper. You can kind of see it. Excuse me. Then I found like a GM bolt that comes out of these. That's what they use. Like this one was on this side, so, and there's that ground wire. It's stripped, ready for the grommet, eyelet, whatever you want to call it. Bag over the carburetor because I had to kind of get rid of the lip off the firewall. These are the alternator wires. I don't know that he needs them with this alternator. I gotta look into that a little bit. And then I still don't know what this green one is. I have no idea. Engine coolant temp and oil pressure. So we don't need those. So I could clip them and just heat shrink them in place. I got the shift rod fixed. So you can see it's got a clip in it now. It comes all the way through. It's seated nice. It goes down, and I extended it, and then I reshaped it so it's fits good now. Falls right in. I gotta try and tighten up this hose, but I think it needs a hose clamp because there's not one there. I noticed that. There's no hose clamp. There's no hose clamp on there. So I'm gonna put a hose clamp on that one. Hose clamp on here because they didn't, or I may end up changing that hose. Just notice that it's got a big, kind of almost a kink in it. That's the return line. So I'll probably end up changing that. I got the drive shaft welded up. It's right here. You got the drive shaft welded up. I don't know what they used to weld it, but it was a booger mess. So it's cleaned up. I'm gonna bring it to the drive shaft shop hopefully Monday and have them balance it and swap the U-joints because these are basically shot. And I noticed that on this one you can see it's pushing out. Oops, you can see it's pushing out and there's no clip. And then the clip on this one is blown out. So that's not good. I tightened up all the brake lines. They were just loose. Bolted the brake line to the housing. You can see it right there. Those are all tight. I also tightened each end. They weren't that loose, but I tightened them just to make sure because I was under there. I still got to do the fuel line. Yeah, here's the heater box. The vent was broke. As soon as I pulled the heater box out, this whole piece has been broke off. This clip that usually is riveted and it holds it, I think, to the firewall, but that's been broke off for a long time. So that wasn't holding anything, and it was actually like under the carpet. So got all that out. The cables for the heater box are still on it. They're out. I did the seal on the transmission. So I got a new one in the back of the transmission. I got the air cleaner base ordered. That'll be here, I think, tomorrow. Not working tomorrow, though. What else did I do? That might be it. Other than I kind of looked over the fan wiring, and what we need to do is take this ground. See, he has power going. Yeah, we need to take this ground it to this ground strap here, down there, right there, and then run this side, the relay ground, over to the thermostat switch, so that it triggers it on and off. I'm just looking at the battery cables right now, the way he's got the way they have the ground run up to the top of the intake. So I'll end up taking that off, and I'll put it down on the block somewhere where it belongs. I know they usually go like over there. So I'll end up doing that. Get rid of that cable running up. I got the hold down for the battery. I got to get a bolt. Then, yeah. So come Monday, I think I should be able to, hopefully, if they could do the drive shaft. If they could do the drive shaft, then I can get that back in the car, and I could start running the car and adjusting the carb and timing, make sure it's all good. And then we can see if adding the vacuum advance helps with the stalling issue. It's got a decent cam in it. I can't start the car because the transmission's open, but that's the other thing. I tightened the transmission lines on the side. Both of them are loose, which they're really hard to get to. But I tightened both of those, which may end up coming undone to bring the transmission down to swap the converter. But we're not swapping the converter until I know that it needs it, because he went on to mention that he might in the future swap this car to a manual transmission car, which would be pretty cool. So I don't know if we want to do the converter now. I'll have to talk to him a little bit more about that, or he can comment on the video, or he can text me. But yeah, so say Saturday, I'm going home. And I'll be back Monday. So appreciate you watching. Like, oh, the other thing. This is all Jonathan's parts right here. Heads, all the pulley, the rocker stands, the cam, push rods, rockers are in both those bags. All the bolts for everything, the front cover, rear covers here. Everything is here. Valve covers. I got to clean this one up. And there's the engine and the oil pan and the pickup tube. So we finally got that back. So I'm waiting on head gaskets. They'll be here like Wednesday or Thursday, actually. I'll have them. So hopefully by Thursday, I'll have the Nova done or close to done. I could start getting Jonathan's engine. I got cam bearings coming for this motor. And then I got everything over there, all the gaskets and everything. And this is something funny. So you got, this motor had a multi-layer steel gasket on the driver's side, and one of the old paper style Felpro gaskets, which you could see it barely crushed down. My understanding that this is the incorrect gasket. This is for an iron head, like the 99 6 liters that had iron heads. That is my understanding of this style gasket. So why it would have two different gaskets, beyond me. It's got a reconditioned cylinder head. Yeah, void if removed. So it's got a reconditioned head on that side, and then a Chevy bow tie orange cylinder head on the passenger side. Not sure why or what's going on, but they did a fabulous job painting all the valve springs. But this is just another customer. He wanted me to go through it, make sure everything looks good. Everything looks pretty good. The cylinder walls, they're not beat up or nothing like that, so they should be really, really good. Should be a good motor, good running motor. It's a little 5.3. He's going to do a different oil pan on it, a different accessory drive on it. So we're just kind of regasketing from the block up, and he didn't want the cam. This cam is what I pulled out of it, and you can see the lobe. It's a pretty big lobe. This is a factory cam, and you can see the lobe's sharper. So this, I believe, he said it was a sloppy stage 2. I believe this is an Amazon $129 cam, which just is not good, in my opinion. But I don't know. I mean, it looks good, but they beat up. The bearings are beat up. The cam bearings are pretty beat up. So we're going to swap those out. I got everything. I got to get the rear cover off. Chained out the seal. Clean up the crank. Then get this out of here. It's going to get a new timing set. I got that there, GM. I only have a 4X cam gear, which is not a big deal because you have the cam sensor back here. So I'm going to put the 4X cam gear on it. New chain. That's kind of it. The gray Jeep's across the street. He's almost got that done. The big black Jeep with the Hemi in it. Waiting on the cam core. They said 6 to 8 weeks, and it's been like 4-ish, I think. So hopefully within the next couple weeks. Sorry, picking up garbage. Trying to clean up a little bit after myself. But hopefully within the next few weeks we get the cam. I already got the gaskets. Waiting on the cam, the lifters from them. They'll only do one shipment, which is fine. But yeah, so we are moving along. And then once all of this is cleared out, I'm bringing them back the Magnum. I have to fix my Traverse for my wife, and then I'm bringing the Magnum back. I have the transmission. Jim, Central Florida Transmission and Auto Repair, or Transmission and Repair. Super nice dude. He's the guy that redid the 4L80s for me for Wood's truck and Jeff's Trailblazer SS, and that one's working really, really good. So I have Wood's transmission is here. I dropped off another one to him. He's redoing that one. That's for the Magnum. I just got to get a converter for it because that second transmission destroyed the converter that was in Wood's truck that used to be my converter that I never used and sold to him and blah, blah, blah. So long story short, the Magnum's coming back. Might change some things up. Just depends. But might go a little bit of a different route with it instead of doing the stock ECU and harness. But we'll see. We'll see. Appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe. Have a good weekend.